I believe I was 4 or 5 years old. I was living at my grandma's at the time, at the countryside. And it was my birthday. And all of my relatives came, and instead of presents, they gave me money. There is just one night I remember. I was 15 years old, and I just got out of a bad incident of some sort. It was about 2-3 a.m. and I needed to get home. And I knew that the only way I was going to get home was by taking a 3-4 hours walk.
Yes, I was at the seaside with my parents. I was 3 years old. And as a surprise, my parents and some friends of theirs bought for me some snorkel gear.
My friend had been very sick. She got into a car crash and there were surgeries. It was very scary.
So I was 5 years old, and my father gets a cold, and that day he took my mom and go I don't know where, and that's for protecting me.
And I had a stack of money, and I knew exactly how thick it was. And that day my grandma had to make some payments for some guy that worked something.
But not soon after, when she was getting a little better, we went to this concert we've been dreaming about going to for years.
But I was too afraid to go into the water, so
So I started walking, and as I left the place where I was at that point, I've seen a huge black dog in the middle of the street, sleeping.
I was walking along the beach dressed that whole gear without having the guts to go into the water. So that's when I got my first nickname.
And they came home late in the night. I was already sleeping, and at one time I hear a strong noise.
And so I lent her 100 lei in 2 bills of 50 lei. And she promised me that when my grandfather would come home, he would give me those money back. I passed by it, and then it woke up, and it started following me, and then it started to walk side by side me. And it was then that I noticed that the dog wasn't that big at all. It was not a dog from hell, and it wasn't entirely black. It had one white leg in front.
So I go to my parents' room and wake up my father. I was very scared, so he gets very scared and asked me what's the problem.
And it was outside. There was a big crowd of people.
And it walked with me for a whole distance. And he came home, and he gave me one bill of 100 lei.
And I told him that I think we have a lion in the house.
We were right in front, near the fence, next to the speakers on the right of the stage.
At the moment we got in front of my house, it turned away and disappeared. When I saw the money, when I gathered them up, they weren't as thick as they were before.
My father and my mother started laughing because my father was snoring, so it was a snore.
You know, she's really tiny, and I was afraid they were gonna hit her while moshing and so on.
The land diver.
It wasn't a beautiful walk, but it was a relevant one, and I'm glad I didn't do it by myself and that the dog was with me, because it was one of the hardest walks I've ever made.
So I started crying, and I think I cried for 4 or 5 hours, and no one could comfort me.
I've never seen the dog since.
So I put my hand on the fence in front of us like this, and she fit right there, here. And it felt right.